Hey everyone, Roy here with another video, and today I'm going to do something a little crazy. Today I'm going to talk to you about investing. Now, before I go into it, I have to preface this with, listen, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. This is just me sharing my story with you and what I'm doing, and if you decide to do it, that is completely on you. Has nothing to do with me. I'm just showing you what I do and my thoughts and everything. That is it. Anything that you decide to do based on my videos is your responsibility. Okay? All right. Now, if you're new here, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, go down to the comments and write, I subscribed. Now, listen, I've been thinking about this a lot. And one of the problems that we have is that we're really good at spending money. Really, really, really good at spending money. We can spend money faster than we have money coming in. And the problem is that even with all the devices that people have, and half the people don't even have, because really half of the US population don't even have a plan for retirement, don't have a 401k, don't have money set aside, they don't know how to save money. And here's the thing, and I've been saying this over and over in my videos, millionaires aren't millionaires because they had $1 million and spent it. Okay? Think about this. If you made even just $40,000 a year, from the time you started working in your, even late 20s until you hit 65, $1 million would have gone through your fingers. And what do you have to show for it? Probably zilch, not a nothing, because you spent it all while it came through your fingers. And I know, you're going to tell me, well, the rent's this, and the car payment's that, and the this is that, and the this is that. Well, that's because you're really good at spending money. That's the problem. You're really good at spending money. You look at money as money coming in. Where am I going to use that? Well, I'm going to spend it here. Money doing this, I spend it here. You're just a bridge for money. You just send it on its merry way. You never hold on to it or do anything with it. And the wealthy, the very simplest explanation of how they have their wealth is they keep money and they don't spend money unless it has a return, unless there's money coming back to them. And they find a way to have the money that they got, that they are holding on to, have babies, have more monies, create more money, multiply, have more money. Listen, if you haven't read or listened to this book, it's great. My kids love it. I enjoy listening to it myself because it's in story form and it's easy to understand. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It is literally dug up from clay plaques from Babylon and composed into a story form from some men back in ancient Babylon. You should literally go listen to that. It's a really good story, okay? But it'll tell you the same thing. It'll tell you even clear back all those many thousands of years ago that those ancient men got money the same way, because the idea and how to handle money, currency, has not changed since the beginning of currency. Okay. This isn't a new idea, but this is what works. And it's so simple. Okay. At least what I've been able to understand so far. So, what I decided to do is in today's world, the number one question that comes to your mind is like, yeah, Roy, that's great. Saving money and having your money multiply is awesome, but how? How do you do that? So I literally did a quick Google search and I typed in how to multiply my money. And I get all these ideas, right? You buy stuff at low, sell it high. You see people, and maybe you've seen them on social media. I don't know, maybe because I'm researching it, then this kind of stuff pops up. But you see people, and there's an idea like you can go to thrift stores and sit on your phone, right? Look at stuff you see on the shelf, see what you could sell it for. Maybe Facebook Marketplace, maybe eBay, maybe somewhere else. See what you could sell it for. When you find something that's a really good deal, buy it, go sell it. Now you just took your money and you made it multiply, right? That's one of the simplest ways. Buy something cheaper, sell it for more. The basic concept, right? You understand that. You understand if you're a car guy and you love cars and you buy one for cheaper and you make it a little bit better and then you sell it for more, you made money. You understand that if you are a motorcycle guy or anything else or a hobby person, that you can take something, put a little bit of effort into it, and sell it again and make more money. That is a way to multiply your money, okay? But I wanted a more hands-off approach, a more passive way to multiply your money. And yes, you can play the stock market. Yes, you can mess around with crypto, but that is very volatile. And, for the past couple of years, I've been earning another source of income online, okay? And I used to have quite a holding of crypto. I know, don't judge me. And I spent a couple thousand of it to get a lot of my online stuff going, and I never really earned it back. And I've been taking a small percentage of what I've been earning the last few months, and I've been setting it aside in a savings account. Well, I took 1,000 of that, and I bought some more crypto so that it's back to kind of how it was before I started. I'm leaving that alone because One of the reasons why I'm doing that is because I remember a story from my dad, right? And he told me that he used to have um, some shares in the stock market of 3M, the company 3M, back way back. I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, 50s, 60s, something way back there. He had like a few shares of 3M stock, and he really wished that he'd held on to it because, by the time even 1990, 2000, early 2000s, he would have been multimillionaire if he sold them by then. Okay, if he would have just held on to them. And I look at crypto the same way. I think that it's going to be around to stay. I think that it's not going anywhere. Yes, it's volatile, it goes up and down and stuff, and it's hard to watch the market, and you got to get all super complicated if you're going to be a day trader. And there's all kinds of research you got to do and blah that I don't want to worry about, right? But I do believe that it's not going away. I do believe that it's here to stay. So I believe in just holding on to it. So I have, several $1,000s of crypto and all different kinds of coins that I'm just sitting on. Okay. And I'm going to keep sitting on them. I'm going to pretend it doesn't even exist. It's not there. So I paid that back. Now I'm still taking a small percentage and I'm going to invest it into something. I want to invest it into something. So again, back to my search, right? So I was searching how to multiply your money and how to multiply it passively. Well, I remember, Grant Cardone, this guy, and yeah, I have his book. Um, what he does. He does real estate. That's really, I mean, the great thing, he's got a really good way of doing it. I obviously don't know exactly what he does, but I know he holds a lot of real estate. That's what one of his biggest companies is that he talks about. He has billions of dollars in real estate that is not going to go away. So I thought, okay, what about investing in real estate? Well, it's kind of hard unless you have a big lump sum of money, right? That you can go buy a building or buy a house. And then there's stories of like, that even a college girl, I read it somewhere on the news the other day, that went and bought a duplex that was built for like, four people, and she bought that as her first house instead of buying a traditional house. She lived in one unit and rented out the other three and became her own landlord and stuff, and had some income sort of passively, right? Because that's a monthly payment that comes to you all the time from renters. And that's a really cool idea too. If you have some property that you can then rent out or sell, or a room in your house that you can Airbnb or something, there are ways that you can have money coming into you as another source of income, and then you can reinvest it into something else to grow more money. You see what I'm thinking? If you spent your days thinking about how can I grow my money instead of how can I spend it. See, everybody's obsessed with how they can spend their money. I got to buy this new truck. I got to buy this new boat. I got to buy this new house. I got to buy this. I got to buy that. I got to buy this. Buy, 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 buy. All that is getting rid of your money. Okay? Which is great. It's fun to buy stuff, but don't be stupid. Don't just buy stuff when there's nothing else going to happen and your money just goes away, right? Now, if you have money invested and it's giving you a dividend that you can count on that's not going away, and then you can spend a portion of that, that's different because you have coming in anyways, and it's not irreplaceable, right? Haha, there's another thing. So then I thought, okay, all right, what if there's a way, and I watched Mark Tilbury on here on YouTube and a couple other people. I know there's a way to invest in something called REITs, 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 which is like a portion of um, real estate that you can buy. And the way Mark explained it, he's like, imagine, say, a piece of property where I own the windows and maybe somebody else owns the doorknob and somebody else owns, parts of the flooring, and somebody else owns a few shingles, and somebody else owns, different multiple people's money is all tied up in this one, piece of real estate, and they all get dividends. That's cool. That's passive money that's coming into you. So then I actually started doing a little more research, and I found this site called Fundrise, which I'm going to share my screen. Okay, Fundrise. So invest in a better alternative, build a portfolio, which that's a cool word, right? You hear portfolio on the TV or movies, and you're like, ooh, they're rich. They said portfolio. Ooh, I want one of those. Yeah, this is one way you can get that. Okay, stay with me. Build a portfolio of private assets like real estate, private credit, and venture capital. Venture capital, like somebody's going to go do this venture, you're going to finance part of it, and when they get lucrative, they pay you back. Yes, there is always some risk. Heck, getting out of bed is risky, right? But this, in my opinion, is a lot more stable than, like, say, crypto. So I was like, we should do this. But most of the time when you go to invest into something like this, real estate, et cetera, like I said, you got to have a lot of money. Not so with these guys. You can start with as low as $10. Okay. So what I did is I dumped $50 into there, and you can go read all these. Literally just go to fundrise.com. I'm not an affiliate or anything with these folks. I'm not doing this as a paid or anything. This is literally just something I pulled out of the ether of my own thoughts and ideas and searching around on the internet and decided to go do. Okay. Now, okay. Now I'm going to log in, so bear with me just a second. Okay, so it takes 7 days for your chart to be available after they could do your order, and then your portfolio is already powered by dozens of properties from across the country. That's super cool. So there's dozens of properties across the country that my $50 is spread out to. Now, I want to keep track of how much money I put into this and how much, return on my investment I get, what my net returns are, all those kinds of things, what my portfolio looks like. See, right now, 20%. That's really good. That's a lot better than a savings account. You got to think about investing as literally, Warren Buffett said the first rule of investing is to not lose money, right? So I didn't lose my money. It's sitting there. I have $50. I had $50 before. I have $50 now. It just moved to a different account from my bank account to this account. Okay. Now that is going to get used to grow for me. I'm not going to have to do anything. This company, this platform, is going to take my money and invest it for me into properties that make sense, right? And then when those make money, I earn percentages back, which is super cool. So the more money I have in here, the more money I'll get back, the more dividends I'll get coming to me, and that can become a source of income over time. Now, these kinds of things take time to build. This doesn't happen instantly. You can't put $50 in today and get $100 out tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes years. So I also set up a $25 a month, just, little stuff for now. Like I said, a small percentage of what I make online, that's going to auto deposit into here. And I'm going to keep track of how that grows, not only how I grow it myself, but also how it grows in the market. And I'm going to add it to my channel. So I'm making a new playlist today called Investing. This is going to be the very first video, so you can come back to this. I'm also going to make an Excel file that has how much money I put in, how much I should have just based on the money that I put in, and how much I actually have, so that I can see if I ended up losing money or if I did truly increase my money, which I believe this will increase my money. So new thing that I'm doing, kind of a cool idea. Wanted to have your guys take on it. Now I do have, like, say, maybe another $500 I could just throw into there, but I want to see how this goes. I want to see how it goes after, a month or two, a week or two, see if it, if it starts, I start seeing some cool things. I'm going to start putting some more money into there, and it's going to become a little bit of a passion of mine. But let me know in the comments if you think I should dump more into that. I have a little more. I could dump some more into that. Well, they said you can start at $10. I already did 5 times that. So let's just see, see what happens. Now, obviously, if I had, $3,000 sitting around, I would just throw it in there. But right now, I'm just, this is a long-term thing. Now, granted, I'm not going to be just putting $25 in it over time. Eventually, that's going to increase, right? That's going to increase over years that I keep this account going. And I also have a 401k somewhere else and a couple other things, but I'm trying to diversify my money and where it goes and how it grows to return back to me, so that, again, the dream, the goal, right? Now I got to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to get a little passionate again. The goal is to have enough money coming into you that you don't have to work, that you can retire early, that if you want to go buy something, you can, if you're smart about it, and it's not going to break your income streams, right? You have enough income coming in. Yes, you have a job. Yeah, you maybe have a side hustle, and then you have investments and all these other things. Even YouTube, right? Even the fact that I'm making this video and sharing my experiences with you can become another income stream. And already Facebook and other media platforms are paying me for my content. So that's another income stream as well. Again, when you can figure out how to change your mindset from how am I going to spend all the money coming into me to how am I going to generate more and keep more, because it's not about how much you make. It really isn't. And I've said this again before. Because every time you get that raise, every time you start making more money, every time you have a little more to do, guess what? Your lifestyle raises with it. Your ability to spend raises with your income, and you keep that same cycle over and over and over again, and you're constantly broke. I've lived it. I've done it over and over again, from dead, poor, broke, homeless, all the way to, hundreds of $1,000s per year job. in a big corporate environment. Okay, I know how that happens. Okay, I've experienced it. Now I'm trying to change that into how can I have more money and have more money coming into me? And I want to help more people do the same with simple ideas, simple things like, hey, going to fundraise, putting $10 in there, and then having a plan to put maybe $5 a month or something in there. It just feels good when you know you have money that is set to start growing and not like a savings account. Savings accounts don't earn you much, hardly anything. It'll take hundreds of years for you to see any kind of real return. You got to do something a little bit more lucrative than that. Okay. So yes, there's, certificates of deposit, which maybe some of you haven't heard it again. That's an idea too. I've got a couple other $1,000 worth of certificates sitting there watching them grow, but I did the math and they're only going to grow by like $25 over 2 years. So it's you know, eh, still more money than I had before, and it's locked up for 2 years, so I can't spend it, which is good. That's helping, right? No can spend. All these, several $6,000 sitting there that I can't spend. Good, great, woohoo. That's how you should do it. You got to find ways to lock up your money so you can't spend it and make it make more money. And the more you can do that, eventually, then there'll be enough dividends coming into you that you can live off of that. That's the idea. But again, I wanted to make it super, super simple. Like, hey, fundraise only costs $10 to get started. You don't have to set up a recurring if you don't want to. You could literally just throw $10 in there and leave it and forget it. Chances are if you did that, you maybe have 500 over the course of 50 years, but or however long it takes to double that investment, right? That's only $10. It's going to take a long time for it to double, 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 double to where it ends up making any kind of real money. But you should have a plan if you're going to invest that you keep investing. And the sooner you invest, the better. Okay. And here's a thought for you. If you just take the straight up traditional approach, right? And you do the 401k thing, which is really easy to set up, right? You kids that have just started your jobs, okay? If you don't do anything else today, think about seriously about starting your 401k, all right? Putting something away for your future because the time is going to pass. The time from you being young and healthy to where you can't work anymore is going to pass. Okay. And you should be setting aside for that if and when that future. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. All right. Now I want to run some numbers by you real quick. If you are 25 and you put $100 a month into a traditional 401k, or let's just say $100 a week. Let's do $100 a week. Typically, you get a weekly paycheck. $100 a week, you can probably do that. Okay. If you can't, do 50. If you can't, do 25. But anyways, we're going to go off 100 because that's the number that I know. So we do $100 a week from the time you're 25 until you're 65 into a typical 401k with the normal amount of return right now, general market return. You would have $1 million by the time you retire, which is unheard of. Most people are lucky if they have a few 100,000 by the time they retire, if they have a retirement at all, and they're just living off Social Security and other people's handouts, which I don't want to do that. Okay, so listen, hear me. If you are young and you are just starting out working, do a 401k. I know lots of other people are like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should do this, you should do that. But all those are complicated. If your company, which most companies do, have a way to help you with a 401k, at least get it started. At least then you have a retirement account. At least then you have something. Okay. Once you get a little more wise and a little more, into the things, if that, if this video or anything else inspires you to learn more about money and how to save it and how to get more, then yeah, you can then take that 401k and you can transfer it. You can even transfer it to fundraise and have it start buying properties for you or something. There are ways, the easy ways for you to do these kinds of things, but you have to start changing your mindset from spending to saving. So if you can do that, many, many doors of opportunity are going to open for you. And I'm super excited that you got to this video, and I can't wait for you to start doing some of these things. And let me know in the comments how it goes. Let me know in the comments if you think I should dump more money into there. Yeah, I did $50. Yeah, I'm dipping my toe in a little bit. I normally jump in head first, but I'm being a little bit cautious just because of the way the economy is right now. And I have enough other, things going on. I don't want to end up completely broke. So I want to have a sustainable cash flow, money that I can keep investing into there. Instead of putting in a lump sum, I want to keep investing over time, right? Because that's smart. And then at some point, I may do some more lump sums, which is another thing I like. Typically on a 401k, you can't like just go say, I'm going to dump an extra $100 in there. You have to go to your employer and you have to say, pull another $100 out, whatever. Fundraise, you have a little more control. You can say, yeah, I want to dump another, $250, $500 in there, and they'll let you do it. It has nothing to do with your auto deposits, which is really cool. And I'm sure there's other companies out there, but this one is one of the only ones that I found and one of the highest rated where you can actually start lower. So anyways, that's my video for today. Um, yes, I make money online. Yes, I do my side hustle. It is amazing. I'm going to do the link below down here so that you can see what is actually generating the extra income. It's paying for itself and it's supplementing my other income so that I have more time to spend with my family, go eat out, all those kind of things. And then I'm also siphoning a little off of it to finance this. So again, something for you to consider, starting a side hustle so that then it can finance that. But then you got to start somewhere with that too. A lot of times to start a side hustle, you have to have money to start that. So you have to find ways to supplement that. So maybe mow lawns, donate plasma, something just to get it off the ground. And as you learn, and then all these things are kind of steps. You have to start somewhere. And here's another really great saying. I promise I'm done rambling after this. All right. Everyone starts at zero. Every millionaire you've ever seen starts at zero, started at zero somewhere. Might not have been them, maybe it was their grandparents or whatever, but for the most part, they all started with zero. And a lot of them nowadays are self-made. That means, yes, they really did start at zero and they grew to where they are at today. Now, here's the thing. Everyone starts at zero. It is up to you if you stay there or not. Up to you. If it is to be, it is up to me. If it is going to be, it is up to you for you. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.